folks? Richard Reyes, certified financial planner, Orlando's own financial quarterback. And this week, we're going to piggyback on last week's topic, and it's more about life insurance. You know why? Because it's September, and it's Life Insurance Awareness Month. So what I want you to do is start to think outside the box of life insurance, because let's face it, people don't like life insurance. They've often seen life insurance as something that's basically there for someone else to use because it's there for them when it's there for somebody else when they die. Now, mind you, that's a very important aspect of life insurance, but it's important to think of the flexibility allowed in life insurance. And last week we talked about pension maximization, which will allow you to actually increase your pension benefits over time by using a properly structured life insurance. But there's two other aspects of life that we can use life insurance for. And number one is to minimize taxes at retirement, and number two is for long-term care. Now let's talk about minimizing taxes at retirement. From experience, taxes is a very large expense for retirees. And the main reason why is because they don't plan for it. The main reason why is because over the years they've stuck their money into tax-deferred investments, and then they have pensions and so on. And what starts happening is that these benefits have never been taxed. So every dime that they take from these investments are taxed. Now what happens is that now that income causes your Social Security to be taxed. And depending on how much you take out of this, then it has the possibility of increasing your tax rates at retirement. And some people, it just pretty much happens naturally because they didn't plan. All of a sudden they're here, and at retirement they're paying a lot more taxes than they ever paid when they were working. So one of the ways that we use to minimize taxes at retirement is two ways: either to use Roth IRAs. The problem with Roth IRAs is that a lot of people are taken out of the equation. There's limitations. There's limitations of how much money you can put in. There's limitations of the income you can have in order for you to put money in. There's limitation on conversions and so on and so forth. So Roth IRAs are good, but they only fit a certain section of the population. The other section of the population needs what's called a life insurance retirement plan that, if properly structured the right way, that's the key. If properly structured the right way, can provide you a lot of tax-free income into your retirement. Now again, it has to be structured the right way, and there's a multitude of different ways to do that. But one of the things to understand, hey, listen, I know you might not like life insurance. You might not even like the life insurance company. You just have to like it more than you like the IRS. Now the second thing, the way to use life insurance is for long-term care. A long-term care expense for most in retirement is a devastating financial issue if not properly covered. Now, one of the ways, of course, we've heard of long-term care insurance, but the problem with long-term care insurance that as you get older, it becomes pretty expensive. There's a lot less companies doing it, so it's pretty difficult for most to get a long-term care policy. But now there's a variety of different ways to cover it. And one way is a life insurance / long-term care policy, where you pay into a life insurance policy. That life insurance policy has a rider so that in the case that something happens to you, guess what? That death benefit, instead of being used for your death, is used for long-term care. And those, to me, are almost a no-brainer. I see a lot of people, a lot of my clients have them because it's an either-or situation, and you know that there's a 100% chance that you're going to pass away, and there's a 70% chance that you will be in a long-term care facility or into a long-term care situation. So you know either way you're going to be paying for something that you're going to use for sure. So with that, hey, those are two more uses for life insurance. Get with me. Let's talk about it more if you have more questions, and I'll see you next time on Financial QB TV.